about this. Welcome to the February 17th, 2026 regular meeting of the Lyman Select Board. This meeting is a public proceeding and is being recorded. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public input, public in attendance will have up to 5 minutes to address the board. Please use the podium to address the board and please be respectful of others. The board may not be able to respond to question and answers during public comment. If you wish to be placed on a future agenda, please contact the town manager. Do we have any public who'd like to speak? I'm not hearing none. We have mail, we have the York County Sheriff report. Is there any questions or comments on that? We'll move to item 3, unfinished business. Franchise agreement updates, if any.
Not really. I did get an email from Tony this morning. The MCMA attorney was reviewing the draft. They finished that, the board has it, so just waiting to hear what's next. Not really any update.
Cool. Item B is town report dedication survey poll.
Yeah, so in your put together the results of that poll, and then you guys have to choose one, and we'll go from there. So we don't announce it until the town report is printed. So this is not end up in the online packet. So basically, if we were to say, pick an option, that's what we're gonna go with.
I like A. And it got the most votes.
Like that. Dave, pick a letter, any letter.
I like
B.
Oh,
A banana.
I'm good with A.
excuse me.
I'm good with option A.
Be quiet on this one.
I like F too. F would be my second choice.
what was your first choice?
A.
Yeah.
I move that option A be selected. Or
Oh, sorry.
still for
Sorry.
both.
No. Not even have a motion to discuss on my apologies.
Okay. Again, I move that option A be chosen for the town report dedication.
Second that. Any discussion? Do you have discussion? You had some discussion.
Just F, but it's gonna be another consensus.
All those in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Any- There's one abstention. A it is. Thank you.
We don't announce it till it comes out, right?
No, don't. It's a secret up till then. I don't plan to write it this year though. I'll help you if you want. I'll help any who's gonna do it. But, item number 4, department and committee reports, fire commission. We met that 2 weeks ago, Thursday. We talked about some personnel things. We are fully staffed right now. Talked a lot about some deficiencies in the building. We worked on the budget. Talked about some other matters that I can't really report on pertaining to money owed and not collected and things like that. We had a executive session at the end. And we will be meeting again the first Thursday of March at 5:15 at the fire station. I have hung a list of all the fire commission meetings for the rest of the year on the board out here in the hallway.
Vicky, do
Yes,
the numbers, and I only just driving by, I was like, oh, it's 108 right now.
yeah,
Do they reset that number January 1st?
yes.
Okay, so they don't go fiscal year.
No,
Okay.
not a fiscal
So
year, it's a
that's-
calendar year.
Okay.
How many calls?
Many calls.
Ah.
And I was like, wow, that seems really low with one fiscal year
We
to.
did
that was
over
nice.
1,000 again this year, last year. Is there any more questions or comments on planning board report we have? We have any discussion on that?
No?
Comments? Pretty straightforward to me. And we had age-friendly ad hoc committee report. And the town manager report. That's. So we're fully staffed now as well?
Please stop. Also, it's updated that this morning, so the website is up, but it's outdated, so there's a lot of old stuff on there. They're still trying to bring back the latest version, so you can go to the website, but there'll be a lot of 2022 stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw that today. It was still nice to see.
Yeah.
it's progress.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair.
Yeah.
The IT RFP will be opened on the 16th of next month, second meeting, is that right? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm sorry, Lindsay, just have one quick question. In the report, there is reference to the ordinance steering committee. Is that the same as the ordinance review committee?
Last report, I talked about SMPDC had a grant, I don't know. So they, SMPDC called it a steering committee, but it's really just SMPDC.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Anybody have any questions or comments? But all these reports are available somewhere?
Yeah, so
To
the
the public?
package is in the MailChimp. If you're subscribed to our email, I can find a way to put in the packet there. That's one way to get it, or people can request it.
Thank you. Let's see, item number 5. New business. Discussion regarding pay and display kiosk at Bunganut Park.
Lindsay, did you get my questions?
Yeah, the remote access service is through Sentinel.
Okay.
I didn't understand where you got remote management service from.
I thought that's what it said in here, but what's the difference between the monthly fee and the remote management system, the monthly fee? What's the difference of services?
So I read through it and I saw that they offer a monthly service of Sentinel, which allows you access to remotely access the computer. So if you want to look at statistics or data, or you need to troubleshoot an issue.
So that doesn't come with the monthly fee thing.
No, part of it, yeah.
But it says remote managed services, $780 on the,
I didn't see that in there. I wasn't looking at
right
it.
above lighting on the top sheet.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I was looking at the kiosk quote. You're looking at my sheet. So
Yes.
that is IT services that we pay for. So all your devices, we go into our IT contract.
Okay.
So if we have cameras, that's mostly for the cameras. If we're gonna put cameras there, that falls under our IT remote managed services, so all that stuff gets monitored and updated accordingly. sorry, I didn't understand.
No worries.
And then you said solar, so the battery replacement, that's if you're gonna go with solar. But then I think we're leaning towards like an AC power, if we're gonna put it near the booth or in the booth, that way you can just plug it in directly right there. It'll still have a trickle charge battery, so if we lose power, it will be able to operate on battery for some time. The solar option was like, they had, when I talked to them over the phone, they said about 3 to 5 years, sometimes they replace the solar.
So
Oh.
what was the 5 to 10 year battery replacement? That was. Sorry, I did read what you gave me. It's on the contract, it says annual. Oh. maybe that's in
Yeah,
the
that would be
summary.
for solar.
For solar, yeah.
So you would just want to plan for battery and solar.
Okay.
Which
Huh.
I think was about $300.
So it would be every other year.
I was surprised when I read that it said, each, either solar or electrical still had a battery,
Well, the ups, right,
because it does say it shuts off if the power goes out.
that's for the uninterrupted power source.
Yeah, he gave me another option for the triple charge one, so they have different types of units. And then you said on contract page 3.5 is a did include setting up cabling. So it wouldn't include that, like we would have to cover any electrical stuff, but if we're using the booth, like we already have power there.
Okay.
We wouldn't need to do any special cabling unless it requires some kind of special power, but I don't think it does.
Okay, thanks.
So I'm still getting some folks and putting some stuff out there that I can find.
Good.
Lindsay, with the remote managed services at 65 a month, you said that's like for the cameras?
Yep.
So we would have 2 cameras, but would it still be just one charge, the $65 a month, or would it be 65 per camera?
I think it's 65 total for the 2, and this was with your former IT.
Okay,
person,
so we
it
would really have to-
depends on your contract and
Okay.
what they charge for RMS.
All right, yeah, we don't even have those numbers yet, but.
We did see your RFP that you included everything that's current, so this would just be it. So.
You got thoughts, Dave?
Dave?
I'm sorry, I was choking. I'm pretty satisfied with the kiosk.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I did send out to everyone a little estimate of costs if we were to once again staff the booth with human beings as opposed to going with the kiosk. And the bottom line there, I think, gives more incentive to those who want to go with the kiosk because it would be more expensive. But I do have doubts as to whether or not the kiosk would do what we want it to do. And again, I have some misgivings about evasion. Anything mechanical can malfunction. It could be a target for vandalism. In the material on the machine, it does state that most maintenance in the first 5 years is vandalism repairs. And I think it's sitting out there remote, although you may have signs on there, no cash is in the machine. I think it'll still be an invitation for folks to bust it up. So just sent that out to everyone to just have a alternative look at what the cost may be if we went with human beings at the booth that we fairly recently reinstalled. That's all.
Good. No, I appreciate that. We're not gonna know if it works or not until we try it, which is a huge investment for seeing if it's gonna work or not. But I would go with trying it and then in the future, if we needed to have employees because of issues, then think about doing that then. As opposed to this year. This is really, we need to go because spring's coming. Park's gonna open soon. And we need budget numbers.
Madam Chair, so is,
Yes.
what we're gonna do is vote on it next board meeting when you have any more. Okay, so then it goes into the budget, if we go that way, and we can talk to the Y truck. Okay, thanks.
Is there any more discussion on it?
Just a quick one, want to be clear that when I speak of staffing the booth, it's with part-time employees directly from the town, not connected with the Y period.
Yep. Anything to add?
No, I mean, I like the kiosk. I think that if our reoccurring costs are, if we can keep that around $2,000 and we're getting, like Joe pointed out, in his like 19,000 was what we got from the Y, then that means that it
Pays
has
for
paid
itself.
for itself. And then if we get $6,000 again from the Pines, that's profit. The only thing that I didn't agree with your numbers on was the YMCA. Because we don't know that they're, so that to me made it so that the net cost was around $20,000. And so I think that staffing it would then put us above this cost. So that's why
I came up with that figure because that's my recollection. That's the figure that I heard discussed during workshops.
yeah,
Pretty.
but I think until we, like, I don't count money until it's in my hand. And so I just think that putting that in there, to me, it's a little premature, so I wouldn't count that because I don't know that the Y is, they might say, yeah, we'll rent it once a week for $300. And then that's, so that's why I just,
So it could change, but
yeah.
any more discussion on regarding that?
No.
Comments? Nothing? Alrighty, how about, item 5B, Carrie Jo, discussion regarding recruiting committee members.
So as we know, we've had the lessening of volunteer to support committees. So I was thinking maybe we could do something like a town committee social. Hold it here in the town hall on a weekend. If committee members were willing to be here and represent each of their board, committee, whatever, and they could talk to people that come in that are interested. We could have fun little handouts. Hey, do you love reading statutes? Maybe planning committee is for you. We could have applications there. Maybe Parks and Recs could help us with cocoa cookies, things like that. But it's just to drum up interest. I think doing it the end of April, beginning of May is probably the best bet before we get into schools being let out. It's a little bit spring. Nobody's thinking about staying indoors because it's winter. But I also wanted to not just do the volunteer committees. We have several positions coming up for election. I think if people were willing to do, say, budget committee, comprehensive plan, fair hearing, everything that we can, because it's still a volunteer position when you get elected. So it would take some time and effort. I'm willing to do the majority of that work if anyone wants to help me. But we keep talking about it. I think it's time to, let's do something. What do y'all think? I promise not to put the burden on you.
So I have a flyer out there, we hand out, especially like new residents and stuff, like your subcommittee flyer. I think in my experience, I've seen a lot of activity come out of the transfer station, just from folks sitting at the transfer station and either sitting there at the table. And we got a lot of email subscriptions just by sitting there with a QR code and saying, here's our email subscription if you want to sign up to email. And people were like, oh, I've never heard. Okay, cool. And we started gaining a lot more email subscriptions. So, that's one way to drum up some, interesting committees. Can't force people to join the meeting. I do try to nab some folks when I hear things out in the hallway. I'm like, oh, I'm curious about, hey, you can come and talk to me about it.
I like the idea of the spread on putting it in the newsletter. I think a community town halls, social sounds great, great. I'm not sure if, just from a personal standpoint, from myself, if I was looking to be on a committee, I don't know if I would come or not. It's a lot, but it kind of sounds fun in a way too. I'm not, I wouldn't say no to that. I could help with that, but I'm not a very good, planner of things like that. Like I wouldn't know where to start, honestly.
You're the KJ.
I'll tell you what to do.
I'd help you, for sure.
Yes.
We have it on a weekend. I wouldn't
Mhm.
want to, I know you've got a lot on your plate. Sorry, Amber.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I'm not trying to give you more work to do. Um, I'm just excited and I want to get people excited. And I hate to have summer come and we've lost our opportunity until fall and then there's winter.
Yeah,
These are just my opinions,
Mhm.
but I'm
Yeah.
excited to get people excited and especially before the elections.
I wonder if that would, if the time frame would work though, right? Because you have to pull papers 27th
Yeah.
and they're
Say that again.
back, you have to pull papers not April 20, February 27th, you can start.
You can still run.
And they're due
in April.
April 13th, I think.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So yeah, so if we had it, we would need to like back it up to closer to the beginning of March, so that if people came in and they were
That's
like,
next week.
I.
I'm not that well prepared. But
Um,
I do like the idea of getting information about the school, board and all of that stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
what we happened last election is we didn't even have a person, and one person that was elected that wasn't on the ballot.
Well, yeah, you can do write-ins.
Yeah.
But, we did have the Oktoberfest and there was only one committee that joined the Oktoberfest, aside from Parks and Rec. So you can do a town hall social here, but you're just gonna have access to this room and that's it. And I liked the Oktoberfest because there was a little bit more going on and it really attracted people. So I think if getting committees to do that, like to sit at those events and say, here's who we are and what we do. I would definitely encourage your committees to kind of do that, Parks and Recs events and stuff.
But I'll help.
Okay.
Any way you
I'll do
need,
too.
because I mean, I like that, inviting the community in to like see what is out there. Some people might,
And there's
Um,
something about it being social that people will tend to talk more about it, even just learning. And they could, as you know, they can always sit and listen on a committee. They can go just to get an idea. But if committee members are willing to talk to folks, I just think that might up the interest. And I'll tell you, I'm really worried about the planning board. We have one person try it.
Right, me
Yeah.
too. Totally.
I like the idea of the collective invitation. Count me in. They've talked to the folks at Parks and Rec, you mentioned before, hot chocolate, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe some sort of informal. Remember way back, we used to have like spring fling. Remember that?
Yeah.
Way back.
oh yeah, a long time.
But I'm not saying something,
Except
I'm not,
they,
something as grand as that. But maybe some sort of spring get together. And have that as an opportunity like Oktoberfest for committee members to be here, maybe the liaisons for each of the committees and the select board could be there. I could talk to the age-friendly committee about that.
Could you?
Tell
You're
me.
gonna talk to yourself?
So are you talking October instead of spring?
No,
Oh.
spring.
Is everybody good with something in spring, late April or, okay. So what's the next step then? Dave, sorry, your input.
That's all right. No, I'm a firm believer of piggybacking on something that's already going on so that you already doubled your numbers. Sort of like the Oktoberfest, but I understand it can't wait until October, or it shouldn't wait until October, but that's my thought.
Okay, I appreciate that.
I think also with the newsletter thing, you could get
It's a good start.
a good place to just get for people to start thinking about it and then set the date before you write that. When is the next article? When's the next
I've been
quarter?
doing it so it usually comes out, let's say January 1st, and that's when Lindsay sends it out. But I go a month before whatever the second month. it's not enough time, because I need time to write the whole thing.
Yeah,
Then she's gonna review it. So I'm gonna push it to submit to you guys April 6th. So I'll back it up, to the last meeting before that. So we'll go to Lindsay for review. What's the last meeting in March?
316.
So it would be, actually, I apologize.
a month
April
from,
6th would be when I would bring it to the board. So I would back it up 2 weeks for submissions to me, Lindsay to validate, and then have it to the 6th.
that's a month from now.
Yeah, because especially December, I missed so much stuff, because I had to have it written up. beforehand.
Can we go back to what Dave said about piggybacking off of something? Parks and Rec does the Easter egg hunt at,
Yeah.
Be the bunny, 'cause
Oh,
at Lyman Elementary.
Yep.
I don't know when it is.
So I was at the meeting, and it's something like whatever that, Saturday or Sunday beforehand. I think last year they had it on the Saturday. When are you guys open? You're not open on Sunday, right? The library?
Yeah.
So they're gonna look to do it, whatever that Sunday is, 2 Sundays before, so then the one between April 5th is Easter. So then
Yeah.
that Sunday before will be their rain day.
Will be their rain date.
So I would
Okay.
have enough time to get pictures as well.
Okay, so, okay. So maybe if it could work out, maybe we could piggyback with that but everybody would have to go to Lyman Elementary. And, maybe just have some tables.
Yeah.
And.
We also do the Memorial Day parade.
Oh,
The other.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
yeah,
That puts it off.
Yeah.
But it would give it more time
Yeah.
to put stuff together as well, so.
yeah.
Do you guys want to have add this to the next meeting or something to discuss more? I can.
Mhm.
So what do y'all think if I
Yeah.
reach out to the committee members just to see if, because they also. to
Mhm.
Right.
Part of it, we can,
I think I would support, however you want to go about it right now, and we can put it on the agenda again.
yeah, let me
You
get
can,
some more, sketch some more ideas, reach out to the LCCU, reach out to the committee members, see what they think, as well as the budget committee, and the school board. And you. So I just want everybody represented.
Yeah.
Let me try that again. Yeah. Okay.
And Madam Chair, just a quick one. With respect to committee applicants, what we have in place right now is a process that was adopted as an interim process back in July of 2023. And the procedure will serve as an interim while a full review and assessment of the Lyman's personal policies are underway. I just asked maybe for the next meeting that we take a look at the procedure for the recruiting and appointing of volunteers, with the possibility of maybe expanding it a bit in the sense of because committees are, I think, our responsibility. That maybe having a select board member who's the liaison for that committee and or a chair or vice chair of that committee involved in the interview process would just, I think, allow the applicant to have a better idea of what the committee does.
Yeah.
Just throw it out there.
I won't have it ready by next meeting.
Mhm.
But, your charter says that the town manager appoints applicants concurrently with the select board. So that's part of why that
Mhm.
policy came into place, is it reflects what your charter asks for. So, we can always tweak it and modify it, but I'm currently doing it.
You mean
Well, again-
recommends, right? You do the interview and the recommendation.
Mm.
Yeah, the way the charter is written, it says I appoint volunteers, but then it also says the select board appoints volunteers.
oh,
I've
whoops.
been
There's
just
a
sort
lot of those
Yeah.
catches in there. Yep.
So I've just been interviewing them and then bring them to you guys.
Just
And
to think
you
about,
guys-
how do you feel about,
I'm-
you don't have to answer this question, about having a committee member with you and interview the person, just throwing that out there. You don't-
It's a lot to coordinate,
Yeah.
trying to fit, what's your schedule? When are you available? Oh, this one can't do this. Well, I can't do that time. It's a lot easier if I just reach out to a person and say, hey, when's a good time to meet?
Mhm. At
And
the
then
same
I
time,
give
though.
you guys, if I don't want to coordinate with a liaison, committee member, this and that.
Mhm.
And then you have confidentiality stuff, if you don't appoint the applicant, I don't feel like their application should be public. And so here's another backstory into how that policy came into play. Where the planning board went to the ORC, so I had committee applicants that had not been interviewed by the board yet. And then you can watch an ORC meeting, it's public, it's on YouTube, where they spent an hour debating, what do we do if the select board appoints this person? Do we make them just an alternate and they can sit on the bench and warm the seat? And it was just kind of ridiculous. And it wasn't the committee's purview to decide who gets appointed to the committee. It's your guys' ultimate decision. So up came that policy. I was like, hey, let's just not, out people before they even have a chance to be appointed or not be appointed. And that policy came into play. But
So what your reference was the board did it all together versus like one member with you? Or was the whole board interviewing a person?
yeah, the board would just get an application.
I remember the first time I joined a committee. We had to bring the application to the selectmen's meeting. It was on the agenda.
Just suggesting that we review the quote unquote interim policy. And again, I think we do have a precedent set for an interview for an applicant to the planning board with the planning board chair and vice chair who was present at that time. Because I do believe the language of the Lyman zoning ordinance does refer to the presence of the of those individuals at the
Yeah.
for interviewing conversation with an applicant.
In there,
For the planning board.
in the ordinance that you just referred to. Is also gonna be one that's looked at by SMPDC and we
Yep.
weren't.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'll, when I start reaching out to the committees, I'll CC you guys as well. If you have any input, that would be great.
What you mean, actually answer an email?
Yeah, nobody has yet, but no, we'll get there.
And there, item C. Harry Joe Sampson, Lyman connection to newsletter submission.
Yeah, that was what we just talked about, that I'm gonna, bring it to the board April 6th versus the month prior. Everybody good with that?
Yep.
Great.
And item D is to discussion regarding transfer station change in hours of operation.
Brought to the station and they wanted to entertain some ideas on changing hours. And I think primarily because they have these staggered days off, which they're kind of like, it's hard. You can't really get one day off and then you gotta go back to work and it's hard to really organize and schedule and do stuff. So I did look at a lot of other transfer stations local to the area to see what their schedules kind of look like. And they do lean towards what the transfer station was looking for, which was like a Wednesday through Saturday. I put two different options down at the bottom to consider. So your guys' thoughts, questions, ideas?
I sort of feel like losing Sunday
Yeah.
is not a good idea because it is busy there on Sundays when I go. And people seem to have the weekend to go to the transfer station a lot of times, and we don't offer curb pickup, so I feel like in a way, I see your point on what you're trying to accomplish, or what, I see their point on what they're trying to accomplish, but, I don't what's the word I'm trying to think of? Help. I don't want to inconvenience
Inconvenience.
people with their trash that are going to the transfer station. Especially in the summertime, you gotta hang on to it.
So we're looking at like a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so that there's not much of a break in between. Sundays, I'm seeing, there's not a lot of transportation open on Sunday. So it's like other
Yeah.
communities are surviving without having their transportation open.
Do we have any data? I'm sorry. Do we have any data in terms of the four times that they're open now, a particular downtime, a dead day? Well,
No, not really.
if so, that would be a data-driven decision.
No, but you know what? They're asking for it, so.
But
if you want to-
what about a survey for a weekday? Asking folks if they were to choose a weekday for a transfer station to be closed, that would be the most convenient. I don't agree with the weekend.
They extended, so they're doing 4/8. Normally you're open Tuesdays 8 to 12. So they said, you know, Tuesdays could be 8 to 4. That extends trash pickup time. Personally, I'm in favor of supporting the folks over at the transfer station. If they're asking, you know, for some leeway, I think they've seen, we've changed our hours. They've been doing a staggered weird schedule for a long time.
For me personally, I come to the town hall maybe a handful of times in a year. I go to the transfer station for trash every week. So I just don't see it as the same thing, but, I don't agree with the weekend, but I think if they're looking for 2 days off, why not send out a survey to see what the residents that it services be more convenient for them to have another day. So right now it's Tuesdays and Thursdays, so we can see what folks think about having closed one the other days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
So we can look
Okay.
at like
Not just, I would think it might be better or easier to get the consensus of the workers that are there, which days are actually the busiest.
Or both.
You're not going to get any better information than from them, and they'll be accurate on it. I think you know, you want to do what you can to obviously keep up morale, give these guys a couple of days off in a row. I think some of these times, you know, like on Tuesday, you know, an 8 to 4, you know, it should be 8 to 2, where Thursday should be 8 to 6, something to that effect, because there are people that rely on, you know, after 4 to get to the dump. And I would think also that that would be summer hours versus, you know, winter hours.
So
That's,
they're doing nighttime, but you don't have any lights up there. And
well, that's why it's only during, I'm sorry, it's only during the light hours that I'm referring to. So when it does start getting dark, you have to change your hours.
Yeah, it goes from 10-hour days to 8-hour days.
Right.
you put lights up there, I mean, they'll do, well, 6 o'clock, you know, all year round, which would be a great benefit. That's what your residents ask for the most, is why can't I go up there at night? And in the winter time, it gets dark, and there's no lights.
So maybe we should look at budgeting for that.
Either that, I know when we did the ARPA funds, we got bids about $36,000 to do lighting. But, maybe now we have a facilities person, I'd ask them to look into some other options or see what kind of other ideas we can come up.
Madam Chair? I
Yes.
like the idea of both getting feedback from the residents and also from the workers up there as to what is convenience for the residents and preferences for the workers. One thing, I don't mean to go too much off on a tangent here, but I was up there a couple of Sundays ago, and it was mighty cold, unhealthily cold, and out of concern for the health of the attendants, maybe we should consider some threshold at which the transfer station closes down so that these gentlemen are not exposed to extreme cold. Yeah, just putting out there.
So if I were to do a poll, I'm just gonna ask, you know, do you want them to have Fridays and Saturdays off? And they work, you know, Sunday, Monday type deal, or do you want to have Sundays and Mondays off and they work Friday, Saturday?
But
That's sort of what I'm garnering.
but that is taking one of the weekends, no matter which poll you ask. And I personally don't think that it should be one of the weekends. And please don't assume that I'm not supportive to the staff.
Mhm.
That's not it. I just think there's two portions here.
Oh, yeah.
And as
Hey.
Dave said, asking the
Say pick a
staff,
weekday.
you know, what time periods that we are currently open, they find pretty dead. And that'd be, I think, negotiable.
I'll go back to the transfer station and I'll tell them.
That's not what we're saying, like.
I know, but this is what, they came to me and asked me about it.
Yeah,
Okay,
if they
this
already-
is the
they're-
discussion.
If they already came to her, this is probably what they were suggesting. So this is why it's down here, transfer station suggested hours. I take that this came from them and the staff there. That's my assumption. I'm not
You're
saying
so
that.
wrong.
And just for my own personal thing, I think that I like the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday for a couple of reasons. It's 4 days of consistent, like, you know, oh, if I miss on Wednesday, like now, if you miss on Tuesday, you gotta wait Wednesday, you try to make it Thursday. If you miss Thursday, you gotta go on the weekend. It's 4 consecutive days, but it also gives them 3 days off, which is huge. And for them, when you work every weekend, that sucks. Like,
Mother's Day,
it-
Easter,
it's-
all those holidays that you guys don't. want.
yeah, I mean, I think, and it going from the current hours, they're 28 hours right now, going a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is gonna give us 4 more hours.
Yeah, I was just
Mhm.
doing the math.
So we're gonna be at 32 hours, but then in the summer, we're gonna be at 34 hours. So it's 4 extra hours. I think people would adjust. I mean,
Yeah.
but I think that, like, I just think like weekends, that's like the banks are open. If you work Monday through Friday and you need to go to the bank on a weekend, they're not open on, they're not open on Sundays. So having Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it gives them like Monday, Tuesday is their weekend, but while things are actually open, they can actually go out and do the things that they're probably put off.
So I thought the beginning of the discussion is we're looking to at least get them 2 days off in a row so they could have an actual weekend versus every other day. So that's where I'm coming from. So if we can
Yeah.
get 2 weekdays where they could still have access to doctor's appointments and
Mhm.
any of those other things, that's what I'm looking at.
If you don't like either of these options, I'll just go back and say. I just, like to Amber's point.
Yeah.
You know.
Either option is fine with me. I think having Sundays off, just like with the town hall closing, gonna be closed on Friday, we just have to roll with the change. Like, we all say it, we don't like change. People are gonna be like, no, I went to the dump on Sunday. I'll be up there and be like, oh crap, that's right, they're closed today. But I think that it's easier. I think we talk about retention. I think if you could say to somebody, oh, your schedule is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's gonna be a benefit to somebody coming or choosing to stay.
So if we're looking at 4 days, why not Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
You really want them to work, okay, I don't think you're getting.
Yeah.
I feel like you're being a little hostile and I'm just trying
I'm
to.
not being too-
I think,
It
No,
feels that
there's
way.
no,
I'm just trying to explain my reasoning that as a resident, do I want to take off a day during the week if I work on Saturdays? What do I do with my trash? That's all I'm talking about. So,
and I think, like every other resident, we would figure it out. If, if we're working on Saturday, we would have to say, okay, what other day is gonna make it work,
every
What-
week versus coming to the town hall a handful of times a year. That's my
Right.
point.
Yeah.
I do know, because folks email me and ask me, they want nighttime hours. That's the biggest push. Every winter, when we put out, the hours are changing, we're dropping the 8 to 6 to 8 to 4. I usually get a few grumpy emails. Why is that? Why can't, why you close at 4? people want to, get out of work during the weekday, run over, do their trash. Nobody really wants to spend their weekend doing their trash.
Right?
They want to do it after they get off work, so their errands are done and they have the weekends to themselves. So, I'd really love to see an effort to get lights at the transfer station.
Yeah.
That's gonna help your.
I agree.
Cause I had talked to them about, well, what if, maybe we look at, they were okay with doing like an extra 8 to 4 day instead of an 8 to 12. And I said, well, what if we did like 12 to 5? Or they said, no, we have a few 8 a.m. people that really like to be there at 8 a.m.
Well, but I think
Business therapy.
I think the evening hours are important as well, so maybe definitely we should look at options for lighting and see what we can do. That was totally, completely an oversight at some time ago,
Mhm.
and we've been dealing with it. But if people really want to come to the dump in the evening and after dark, then I think we should consider that. I also understand why we're considering this and that's their request. The employee's request, but we also have to look out for the taxpayers who want to go to the dump at a certain time, and I do agree with yeah, I come to the town hall occasionally, but I go to the transfer station every week. I do that too, every week, so,
Madam Chair,
yes.
with respect to KJ's suggestion, could you, Lindsay, suggest to the transfer station attendants what they would think about? I grant that this is what they are proposing. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, days of opening for the convenience of the residents. And they would have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 3 days running, free. Like to get their feedback on that.
Like Amber said, though, didn't they suggest this because they wanted at least one day out of the weekend?
Well, again, we're trying to balance the residents and balance the attendants.
But did we balance the attendance? We're having them work Saturday and Sunday.
I think the original point was they wanted some days in succession so that they don't have a situation where they're off on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They have some days in succession, which would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I don't think every attendant works every weekend, do they?
I think it's the same attendance. I see the same attendance when I'm up there on the weekends.
Say Barry. Yeah. Changing shifts. Filling in for each other. Anyway.
The last thing I have to say about this is if this is what the suggested hours are, this is what's placed before us, either we go with it or we table it.
So we pulled all the other towns, so they kind of leaned, Wednesday through Saturday, because if you look at what other towns, they're just mirroring what other towns do. Which they did note, other towns have nighttime hours, which they do, but they can't.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, either, table it. Mm.
I'm not overly opposed to it, but I would like to table it until we can see what the cost would be for lighting. I know that's probably a long ways of time.
For what, Vic? I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
The
cost.
about lighting, because we might, if we could adjust the hours somehow on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, or all of them to have some evening time hours. A lot of people work days, and that's why I hesitate about the 8 to 4 all the time. Because even if they can't go before work and they can't go after work if they work those hours. And that's my thought process on the residents. I'm not cold-hearted and opposed to making that change from to Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday off. And that helps. That's a balance right there. That helps the people that work at the dump And if we could open more hours in the evening time or later, so people can get rid of their trash on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, that's a balance to me between helping those employees and helping our residents. And so I'd really like to look into seeing about that lighting.
Those are great suggestions. I also don't want the staff to think that we're putting it off, because that could be months or a year out. Just saying, maybe like you said, table it till we. But not that it's not dead. I want to work
No,
something out.
no,
with it.
I don't, I'm not against helping, but I don't want to help to the point that I'm inconveniencing our residents. There,
That's fine.
Motion to table?
I feel like we can get more feedback from the employees. I mean, we don't have data because we don't have any like technology up there. You know, we don't run the transfer station on Trio. So I can't just key in and pull data. It's all,
yeah,
it's your employees there are gonna be, they're gonna tell you your data.
Mhm. Would we be able to get numbers for lighting for,
I mean,
to know if that's something that we want to put in the budget
I
or?
mean, we're
Is-
cutting it tight with the budget.
Mhm.
So,
But-
like, I don't have, I can't keep like, this happens every year. We always come up with some idea at the last minute, like, oh my God, let's do this. I just know from ARPA, we got bids for 36,000.
all right,
Now we have a facilities person, they might build to brainstorm some other ideas. Could be a capital improvement project.
what about work lights? They work on the turnpike at night, those are portable.
You need to figure out CIP and consider it a capital improvement.
Something, I just want some numbers to consider. Also,
You know,
yeah,
Solar.
Solar's an option too. I did look into solar streetlights.
maybe,
I have two for the.
can we generate electricity from the composting food waste?
Say no.
If I could, I would, but yes, I think that would be more costly than lighting to get
I'm-
our own
Go
waste
say,
to energy facility at the Lyman.
I don't want to sound like I'm not considerate of our employees, because that's not. I am considerate of them. I would like to find a solution that benefits everyone. Yep.
Move to table?
Second.
Any discussion?
When or how can we have a date on when it's gonna be brought back up? Or like next meeting, would you be able to get back with the transfer station staff?
I can, yeah.
I just don't, I want it, like, I don't want it like, oh, remember 5 months
I'm
ago
gonna
we had the
bring it-
transfer
I'm
station?
gonna go to them and say, this is what we talked about at the meeting. And
Can we just leave it as unfinished business until you do, and then if you have it, we'll have
I'm
it.
gonna talk to them and see how they feel.
Okay.
Because they'll watch your meetings.
Is it said?
All right.
I think their best, or our best bet for everybody is, you give them the time off that they want. They work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Ask the staff which days are the most busy that you can, the most busy and the least busy. The least busy, you shave off a couple hours and you put it onto the most busy. Then during the interim, we could talk about lighting.
That's a great idea.
Yep.
Okay.
So we'll table it to the next meeting then?
Yeah.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
And it's unanimous. Alrighty, minutes.
Move to approve the minutes from Thursday, January 29th as written.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye,
Aye.
it's unanimous.
Move to accept the February 2nd, 2026 meeting minutes as written.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion?
I'm sorry, I missed that whole thing.
moving to accept the February 2nd, 2026 meeting minutes as written.
Thank you.
And Joe seconded it. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
I,
unanimous. And warrants. And payroll warrant number 34 in the amount of $34,984.71.
So moved.
second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
I,
It's unanimous. Accounts payable warrant number 2 in the amount of $588.21.
So moved.
second.
It's moved and seconded. Any discussion? Although,
I would just like to point out, EcoMaine, our tipping for our municipal solid waste was $13,120.40. Recycling was up, if I remember correctly, just a little bit to $1,331.10. So, and I also realized that I'm not keeping good track of this, so I'm gonna start a spreadsheet. So then I can actually see how this is tracking.
any more discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I,
It's unanimous.
I make a motion to go into executive session for 1 MRSA 4056A, discussion regarding personnel matters.
Okay.
Moved and seconded. As far as discussion goes, I have 3 papers from people involved that are asking that it would be in public. So does that mean we have to vote not to go into executive session? If we moved and seconded and discussed.
Rescind my motion.
Thank you.
I apologize this report. I wanted to be out much sooner. I've been struggling with some health issues. So, it's not really timely, but
Could,
Thank you.
could I ask your, what your name is, please?
sure, Stephen Hippus.
Thank you.
Is he?
It's just that the rules, we're just listening. If you see. No questions, Steve, just listen.
Yep. This is the, opinion of which we asked for.
No, there's no opinion.
Well, it's the report of that we asked for
Yes.
from the information that at the meeting, how long ago was that? A while ago? Do you think that, reading this would be, everybody read it at their own speed, or should I read it into the record? How do you wanna approach this?
It's quite thick. Wanna just
Will
put
it
that around
be
here?
included in the, since it's public now, will it be added to the packet? So that people, if they want to look at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll find if there's any.
I'm done.
But I'm not.
Did Dave have a copy of this?
Yeah, he's.
Dave just
Okay,
said, he
okay,
just said he
okay.
was done. I assume he meant he was done reading it.
Yes.
Vicky, because
Excuse
we
me?
gonna do a few minutes.
Oh, go ahead.
We just finished.
I am, but if you gotta go, you gotta go. Please.
No,
You're
I
welcome.
don't, should not.
I thought this whole thing was this part, so I kind of do feel that we should, because it's only, what, 3, 5, well, back to back, 4 pages. I think that we should read this part into record, because this part is already. like,
We
these
already-
are Already public.
Yep. I'm willing to do that. I'd like to help or have help with a little bit of direction here. So this is from, how do you pronounce your name? I'm sorry. Hippis? I don't want to say it wrong, so from Stephen Hippis, Town of Lyman Fair Hearing Officer. To Lindsay Gagne, Town of Lyman, Town Manager, TM. Introduction pursuant to section 5.2 of the town charter. The Fair Hearing Board was established, unique and specific in its purpose and function. In accordance with section 5.21C, the Fair Hearing Board was asked to review a complaint for which no other process for resolution exists elsewhere in the charter or town policy. Consistent with section 5.22, the board first confirmed that all other internal avenues within town government for addressing the matter had been exhausted prior to accepting the complaint. This report is based pursuant to that authority and is intended to provide the Fair Hearing Board's findings and recommendations to the select board for its consideration. Backstory: the Bunganut Park Ad Hoc Committee expired on the 18th of April in 2025. In August 2025, 3 elected officials consisting of 2 board members, Joe Wagner and Carrie Jo Sampson, and 1 budget committee member, Karen Kane, were involved with the Parks and Recs Committee working on the Blue Blaze Trail at Bunganut Park. The Blue Blaze Trail was turned over to the Park and Recs Committee post ad hoc ENCL 1. I don't know exactly what that stands for.
Enclosure.
Enclosure 1. The town manager stated that when work was going to resume on the Blue Blaze Trail, that the Parks and Rec Committee was requested by the select board to provide the town manager with a list of volunteers that were to help with the next phase of the Blue Blaze Trail and provide an updated work list. The town manager never received either. While the Bunganut Ad Hoc Committee was active, the town manager received regular and routine email updates on personnel and activities. After the ad hoc chair resigned, 11/20/24, the town manager was not emailed or CC'd on a regular basis to keep her informed and up to date. This is important as the town manager is the chief executive administrative official. State Law, Title 30A, 2336, Powers and Duties of Town Manager, states the town manager is chief executive and administrative official of the town. It is responsible to the select board for the administration of all departments and offices over which the select board has control. Town manager shall execute all laws and ordinances of the town. Enclosure 2, dated October 27th, 25. Original complaint, analysis of alleged charter violations. Note 1, there are many moving parts and facets to this complaint. For the sake of simplifying this report, the 2 most contentious issues are being addressed. Facts and findings. Number 1, did these 3 individuals conduct themselves as a private committee? Number 2, were these 3 individuals involved with town business that should have been conducted in a town board meeting with the public present? Enclosure 3, Maine Municipal Association, email right to know. 2, dated February 2005, states, in short, any dialogue or deliberations by or between board members outside the context of a lawful board meeting are apt to run afoul of the board's obligations to conduct its business openly and in public. Enclosure 4, Town of Lyman, Select Board Code of Conduct Amendment dated June 16th, 2025, states all board deliberations will be conducted openly in accordance with the law, except under the provisions of an executive session. Board members will not meet privately, individually, or in groups to discuss substantive town business outside properly noticed public meetings, as such actions may violate open meeting laws and compromise public trust. Enclosure 5, Karen Kane, email dated Tuesday, July 29th, 2025, states, I do think we need to be cognizant of having 3 elected officials meeting though. Enclosure 6, Karen Kane email to Holly Spalding Woodridge dated Tuesday, August 19th, 2025, states, Holly, glad you're on board with our little committee. I'm hoping that we can get a lot accomplished this way. Closure 7, Karen Kane's email dated Wednesday, August 20th, 2025 to Emily Brown, CC to Holly Spalding Woodridge, Joe Wagner and Adam Fisher, State of Maine, states, we are planning to put a small committee together. Closure 8, Adam Fisher, State of Maine, email dated Thursday, August 21, 2025 to Karen Kane, states, I'd be happy to meet to talk about the program, help you prepare for a strong 2026 application, and answer any questions you or your committee may have. Closure 9, Holly Spalding Woodridge, email dated Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 states, I emailed about the plan and she suggested that she give Lindsay a heads up. I'm paranoid too. Closure 10, Karen Kane email dated September 9th, 2025 states, Joe, did you advise the town manager that we were taking this on as a private group? And if so, are we good to go? Sorry for the paranoia. Closure 11, Joe Wagner's email dated Tuesday, September 8th, 2025 states, yes, I did mention to the town manager that we were meeting with a state official at Bunganut to discuss the state RTP program. Closure 12, Karen Kane email dated Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025 states, sounds like we all want to keep this effort moving with an informal committee and focus on Bunganut trails in phase 1. If anyone thinks that this approach will not be favored by the town, it would be better to know now versus later. I certainly don't want to overstep or step on anyone's toes. Closure 13, Joe W. emailed dated Wednesday, September 24th, 2025 states, I'd say continuing as an informal conversation group is the way to go for now. We are making no commitments nor formal grand plans on the town's behalf. We are merely exploring possibilities. The topics of discussions contained in the emails as found in the FOAA request dated 10/14/2025, a moving the Bunganut Park Gate, Bunganut RTP grant, plans on the Davis Road property, Project Canopy, Sanford Trail Committee, or Sanford Trail / Committee, Three Rivers Land Trust, sorry, Brock Road, and the Sid Emery Trail property. The following is a list of town government people contacted, met with, or discussed by this committee. Adam Fisher, Maine State, Emily Brown, Maine State, Kaylin Colby, York County Soil and Water Representative, per the FOAA emails. Below is a list of the general terminology contained in the emails as found in the FOAA request dated 10/14/26. Committee / meetings / schedules / times, locations, budget approval, organizing, grant requirements, remaining budget, grant elements, trail work, grant requirements, town commitments, ability to use in-kind matching, timeframes to complete work, sources to get work done, how best to establish estimates, program, funding, private group, copies of town maps, topo map, workshops, presentations, MTP, RTP, companies, health events, trail walks by Massabesic Adult Ed, employees, fundraising events. Conclusions. Issue 1. These 3 elected officials identified as a committee, introduced and presented as a committee, Paranoia told this group we are a committee. Issue 2, the list of topics being discussed between these 3 elected officials is town business and should have been conducted in a public right-to-know meeting. There was no formal authorization for these 3 elected officials to conduct such business. There are numerous state and local laws and documents that control and define the code of conduct and laws for governance of town business. When laws and policies voted in by the select board are violated and bypassed, it undermines community trust in the town manager authority. The select board is the executive branch of town government and is designed and intended to be a self-governing and self-policing body and expected to avoid just such issues. Recommendation. Note 2, these elected officials had ample opportunity to stop these activities and abide by town law. The select board members should have simply complied with the town's policies and procedures as expected. If the select board would have created a new committee, this all would have been avoided. Note 3, Town Charter 4.2.5, committees states 2 types of committees may be established, standing and ad hoc committees. For either type of committee, the town manager shall prepare a project statement to establish a committee. The project statement shall indicate the committee's purpose and function, its composition and number of members, the budget line for funding of the committee. Note 4, Town Charter 3.5, enumeration of responsibilities states, the board shall have the following enumerated responsibilities in addition to those responsibilities granted to the board at regular or special town meeting elsewhere provided in this charter. Without limitation of the foregoing, the board shall be states, appoint members of all boards, committees, and commissions, except those required to be elected under this charter applicable law. The board shall ensure that all boards, committees, and commissions are established and operated in accordance with the provision of the town charter and applicable law. Note 5, Town Charter 3.7.2, forfeiture of office states persons shall forfeit the office of select person if they be states intentionally violate any express provision of this charter. These provisions reflect an expectation that the select board will oversee adherence to the town charter, including accountability among its own members. It is the recommendation of the fair hearing officer that in accordance with town law, the select board members shall step down / resign and vacate their position, as should the budget committee member, as all elected officials are nonetheless expected to act in accordance with the town charter and governing law. And then attached is all the enclosed documentation. I don't have to read all that, right?
No, I think when.
Can't even see.
Oh, I
Reading
didn't-
out of one eye, I can't even see out of this eye right now, it's gone.
Sorry, Vicky.
But anyway, to get back to the report, I would, that's quite a report. We asked for that. I don't know that we have a decision to make. I think certain people have a decision to make. And, given this, I have a lot that I would have liked to have said about it. but I have not, because I was waiting for this. And, so I'm gonna refrain for the moment. I really, I don't know where we go from here.
It's not really spelled out, so I know it's like a wonky, weird, uncharted territory. You know, I mean, the charter just says you have a fair hearing board, that can review these things and make recommendations. It's concerning 3 elected officials, so I like, to your point, it's, you know, to those individuals have to make a choice. And, I don't know, how does the board
I mean,
want to handle a complaint?
right, no, I mean, I feel like the complaint came and we had to do what we had to do. It's interesting to me because outside of the charter and other documentation to support the fair hearings, thing, I read all those emails in the complaint and heard it all as well, and my thought when I read them was that there was people that were excited to, about the commit, the park and all that, and then to have it written like this. You know, that was, I guess personal perceptions are what they are, but, I don't know, I don't know, I better just shut up, cause I'm going about 100, a lot of things.
Everything in this document came from the emails and town documents.
Yep,
There's nothing fabricated in here.
I didn't say anything about it. Okay,
It's just a factual document.
I think we need to wait and see how these 3 elected officials are gonna respond. Like it says, there's a recommendation in here from the Fair Hearing Board. And I think in my mind, this is either going to cement the Fair Hearing Board, or it's going to make the Fair Hearing Board obsolete, I think. And that's just my opinion. But if the Fair Hearing Board has made a recommendation, and then that recommendation is just, you know, how do we ever go back as a town? How do we ever go back to the Fair Hearing Board and be like, can we have your recommendation again? If it means nothing. So I think that's my opinion, and that's a concern for me.
I hear what you're saying, I do. Dave,
Yes.
pull me,
Um,
pull me out of the hole, would you?
Well, first of all, I want to say that I support everybody involved. I support the right to complain. I support Joe. I support KJ, and I support Karen. I believe mistakes were made. I didn't want to express anything until after the fair hearing officer came in with his assessment. Looking back, I think it was a mistake not to use it as a conversation and to work out any ambiguity that might be in the charter, to see if we couldn't work around it. Maybe a simple, my bad, apology. Let's get on with the business of the town. With the determination of the Fair Hearing Board for Fair Hearing Officer, I believe it's hard, and I don't believe it's this board's decision to vote on it. I believe it is within the individuals. But either we have a charter or we don't have a charter. And it's kind of simple. Whether or not it seems petty or frivolous or harmless in what was done, with this assessment, either we have a charter that we abide by or we don't. So with that said, and with the assessment the way it is, my fear is if we just continue on and do that, just go right back to as if nothing ever happens. Somewhere down the line, the members are going to vote on something. And if they vote on something, it could always be contested because of this moment right now. So if somebody came in, whether it be for an application or just something that the board had to vote on, I believe it puts the town in jeopardy of not adhering to their own charter. And therefore, whatever the vote is, would be null and void. That's my thought process.
Thank you, Dave. That was very well said. Oh. Oh, where did it? Anybody else have anything to say?
I just like to add one more thing just to say to Joe, Kerry, and Karen that there was an individual that was asked to come to the meeting for support. And they shouted out, and I feel slandered me. So to let you know, I know you can't see me, but to let you know, I had nothing to do with this complaint. I don't want you thinking that you asked me a question and it all went sideways from there. It did not.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about, Dave.
Yeah.
No, I know, Joe understands.
No, I don't.
It was our conversation. It was our conversation. You asked me a question. I answered your question. It was mentioned in the complaint. You
Okay.
explained yourself.
Mhm.
I'm just letting you know that I had nothing to do with it.
Didn't think so. Madam Chair, just a couple things, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Fair hearing officer mentions in. Excuse me, I believe I've got the floor.
And if this, is this turning into a chat about it, because then I would like time.
No, it is not.
It's a report, facts and data only. That's what he gave, and I thank you for your time and effort. I
Mhm.
appreciate it. All I ever wanted was conversation with y'all.
Good.
I don't think it's
Madam
fair that
Chair.
they,
Okay, and let's,
but you'll let him speak, I know you will.
if, really?
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle it. He's also a member of the board, so what am I not supposed, I don't,
What does that mean?
Read the
No.
report.
I did read the report.
No, if I may, I believe I've got the floor, do I not?
I-
think you mentioned something about the rules, and I was gonna say.
I prefer, in a sense, I don't think it's wise because I don't think anything right here and now is good. I mean, y'all can defend yourselves. We asked for this.
Mhm.
We got this. I just read it into the record. It has a recommendation
Mhm.
and facts. And I really don't want to go back and forth. I didn't like the way that went last time.
Mhm.
with the back and forth, and so I'm not interested in the back and forth here.
No. I don't
Um,
intend to engage in that.
I think Dave said it the best, that to support everyone. I support the complainant. I support you guys, especially, apparently, according to her, and I really I don't know what else to say at this moment. I'd really like, excuse
You
me?
said it really well before, where you're kind of like, it's up to those people, right?
It is.
No one's gonna be able to make you do anything you don't wanna do. From the last conversation we had, when the complaint was brought to the board, my take on it was, okay, there's definitely some policies and procedures we might need to tighten up, just to make it really clear, what are the procedures for stuff? So that is something that's on my radar to sort of work on while we're doing budgets and everything else. So I think you said it pretty well, and it's difficult because there's no rule book for this.
I'm not on a side.
Mhm.
It's,
Well, Madam Chair, I just make 2 remarks with respect to the report
oh,
in the interest of due process. And they are, the hearing officer mentions a person shall forfeit the office of select person if they intentionally violate any
Okay.
express provision of the charter.
that's why I'm saying
And secondly,
you have
This
decisions
info-
to make.
well, indeed, and missing on this are the responses from Karen, KJ, myself, in relation to the, so, we'll end with that information.
Oh, we gotta sign stuff.
Mhm.
Well, the question is when do you want those responses?
Give it to you right now, no.
I'm asking the board.
Put it on the agenda next meeting. And then we'll go from there. How's that? You want those 3 notes in the? Make sure I get all of it. Oh. Yeah, I haven't got used to these yet. Just both minutes.
Yeah, I think that's it. 229. All signed. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye,
Aye.
unanimous.